Hey everybody, Red here, and today we're doing the PC review of Blasphemous. Steam recommended this game to me. It saw me playing some other Metroidvanias, which this is, and it's a weird one at that. It's very strange. So we'll go ahead and we'll start playing. So again, like any other Metroidvania, there's the map, and it's got the little icons on it, which I enjoy because I've put stuff there, and there's other items that I'm possibly missing around the map. There's it's a fairly decent sized map. Um, you have to climb up to a place, and you have to climb up and down, and a whole bunch of other things that are kind of just going on. So as usual, we're gonna talk about the good, we're gonna talk about the bad, and then from there I'll give you my opinion of the game. So what's great about this is that you resurrect upon death. So maybe I forgot where I'm going. I haven't played this in a little while either, so I don't know remember it necessarily where I'm going. But when you die, you revive. It does, however, cost some of your special energy gauge, and you see like little barbed thorns will come across it as you die. And there's places where you can buy it back, which is nice because losing losing it forever, or you can go back to your corpse and you can get it back. And maybe that's what it was. I can grab that ledge because I really don't feel like going this way. I don't like this. I'm not a huge fan of this place. But yeah, so you go back to your last save point with a little less special energy. I didn't really use a whole lot of the special skills. I don't know. I just kind of just played and just went on about it. This is a very kind of unique game with a lot of weird characters and probably some biblical stuff. I'm not a theologian. I'm not super religious, but it seems like something that's kind of what's going on here. It's got like religious overtones because he's the pious one, so he's doing pious stuff. Like at the beginning of the story, he's supposed to do these 3 things to open up the gate to the castle, which seem rather pious. And for some reason, the people who are telling him about the lore and stuff are already behind the boss, which makes no sense to me because you should, I had to beat the boss to get there. If you knew a back way, you should have told me because that's kind of rude. Really, in this game, you don't have to fight monsters, not in the least, because there's no level system, and you're really only doing it for the kind of the in-game currency. And that's kind of, there's no drops, there's nothing of the sort. It's just here you kill it for the monsters, which provide upgrades to they don't provide upgrades to your weapons. You can buy stuff, and it's how you buy back your special weapon gauge if it's gone down too much, and it'll cost you a nice chunk of change to do it, but it's not super. It's not horrendously bad. It's not like 30,000. I forget what they call the in-game currency. As you see, I'm having trouble platforming. I can barely walk and chew gum at the same time. So, and that's pretty much the good stuff. It's beyond it having kind of a weird story. I think there's kind of a like, yeah, you can. Ta-da. Did I miss this? I'm getting more. Okay. Well, I just unlocked an achievement. Maybe that's why I was having so much trouble. Is that? But no, that's kind of the what you spend your money on is like, you know, upgrades for you know, the pious one. And I'm not having any luck going this way either. It's been a while. I've been a little backlog with my reviews. So now it's time to get to kind of the bad things about this. First of all, the hats. Every one of the people who are apparently members of this church, and you know, the pious one, they all wear these weird cone hats, and this is not a hat-friendly game. None of the townspeople wear the hats. It's just the pious one and all the church members wear these ridiculous hats. There's no level system, so if you're having issues with the game, you just kind of have to deal with it. You can't level yourself out of it. And the boss fights do range, you know, from easy to very difficult. There's some of the boss battles that like that'll test your patience a little bit. But that's okay. You know, they're not horrendously bad. And you can only change some things at save points, by the way. While I'm at save point, using a save point causes the monsters to respawn. So if I kill him here, and then I leave and come back, he should still be gone. But the moment I touch that save point, all the monsters respawn. Let me see what we can. Yeah, and this is where you can kind of equip, you know, your special ability. Again, I didn't use them too much. But yeah, see, he's back. Unlike some other ones where you leave the room and come back. It's good. It's bad. It can be annoying because you can be at a spot like that and then save, and then the monsters will be right back, you know, that you just killed or had problems with. It's more annoying than anything. The controls are a little tight. If this wasn't so kind of jump heavy and, you know, cliff grab and tree grab and stick your sword and stuff, that would be fine. But no, it's just kind of like ruins the feel of the game. I don't remember what this place was. So actually, while playing the game, I actually got stuck a couple times. Like actually stuck in the environment, which meant I had to restart. It wasn't nice. I mean, it just you can never get all the glitches. It's just kind of disappointing that, you know, I wasn't too far from save points, but it's just kind of disappointing that, you know, you fell through this. And here I'm back here again. Yeah, and some of these enemies do way too much damage. So next up is there's kind of a lot of wandering around, and I only played this probably for an hour a day for a couple weeks, if even that. It took me about 17 hours to beat. And it's kind of like I didn't remember who this was or where that was. There's, you know, a lot of things kind of going on that are just are weird, and it's kind of difficult to remember kind of everybody and who and where they are, you know, where they're at. And here's your where you can develop your skills, and if you have enough, you know, currency, you can unlock more skills. And there's a decent amount, but I kind of went for more, you know, more of the attack ones. Another thing that bothered me is the font. The font is really, really strange. Like, it's I don't know, it's much harder to read than like normal font for me, and it's just kind of aggravating because of like there's a lot of stuff that it's the Pentient one. I'm sorry. Again, I haven't played this in a couple months, and I just kind of it makes the game, I think, a little bit more difficult than it needs to be. There's a dog. Ruff, ruff. Who's a good boy? And kind of lastly, you can't equip all the special abilities at once. You can only equip 3. And there's like 7 of them. And one of them they don't do a good job explaining what it does at all. But it allows you to, in certain places you can fall down the screen and get to another area. It doesn't tell you that, and it just kind of, you know, you'll normally fall to your death, but if you have it equipped, you'll fall to another area. And again, they kind of don't tell you about that. It's kind of, I found it out by accident. And you see there's no item drops, no anything. So, I mean, there's really no reason to fight these enemies. And yes, spikes kill you in one hit. But no, it's kind of, you have to pick and choose which one you want instead of like any other, like, I think Metroidvania game. You kind of, you know, once you get a special ability, you can kind of, it's always active after that. You know, you get a double jump, you just don't unequip your double jump. So kind of my in review for this game, this is alright. It's okay. It's not the best. It's not the worst. I preferred Chasm vastly over this one because, you know, even though Chasm was randomly generated, it seemed to be a little bit more fair and a little more balanced, and I don't have to keep wandering around and, you know, I get that there's wandering around in these games, but sometimes, again, to me it seems like there's a way too much, because if you don't have the 3 proper like special abilities equipped, you won't be able to get to you know, certain areas, and it's kind of you have to, well, I have to unequip this, I have to equip this. It's the same thing that made, I think, Mega Man Battle Network 3 annoying, was because that you had to constantly, you know, switch from, you know, your attack ones to being many, and it just kind of was, it's like, I think that's what I'm talking about right there. But I got this through Humble Bundle, so I guess I can't complain too much. Again, there's room for improvement. And yep. I didn't know you could do that for a while. There's an achievement for that. But I mean, it's all right. If you love Metroidvanias, you should play it. If they're not your thing, I would just gloss over this. I mean, it's decent, but it's not that great. that you should, you know, go out and buy it. It does have 3 DLC, but I got it from Humble Bundle with the DLC on it, so I couldn't tell you what the DLC is. So that's pretty much my review of Blasphemous, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.